Mars has always been considered a dead wasteland, red dust, radiation, and absolute dryness. But in 2018, the InSight lander touched down on Elysium Planitia. Not to look at the scenery, it brought with it a super-sensitive ear, the SEIS seismometer. It was listening to the planet's heartbeat, and what it heard changed everything. Instead of the dull silence of rock, InSight recorded over 1,300 marsquakes. The signals passed through the interior and returned altered, as if there is something inside the planet that dampens vibrations. Something liquid. Scientists from the University of California spent years deciphering these songs of Mars. The analysis result, published in 2024, was a shock. The waves slowed down at a depth of roughly 6 to 12 miles. Mathematical models gave only one answer. It's not just wet sand. There are cracks in igneous rocks filled with liquid water. These are not puddles. These are reservoirs of such scale that if brought to the surface, they would cover all of Mars in an ocean up to over 1 mile. Imagine, the desert planet is actually a sponge planet that absorbed a whole sea. Now for the main thing we must understand. Although there is more water there than in all of Earth's oceans combined, no one lives there and won't be able to live there. At a depth of 19 miles, terrible pressure reigns, and such a concentration of salts that this liquid more closely resembles brine or antifreeze. It is a dead ocean. It is trapped in the crystalline lattice of the rock under billions of tons of overburden. It's not a lake you can swim in. It's water in the rock that is impossible to get. We found a treasure that will forever remain behind closed doors. Here at Factuality, we don't sugarcoat reality. We show it as it is. If you like this honest approach to space, please subscribe. Together, we'll figure out where else these Martian tracks lead. While InSight listened to the depths, rovers on the surface were finding indirect evidence. The Curiosity rover in 2024 accidentally crushed a rock in the Gaitas Vallis channel and found pure sulfur inside. This is proof of a violent watery past. And the Perseverance rover in Jezero crater found the Chayava Falls rock. There are spots that form only in the presence of water. All NASA spacecraft are now screaming the same thing. Mars was not always like this. It just hid its ocean deep inside when the planet's magnetic field disappeared. What does this mean for us? Many dreamed that future colonists would drill wells and drink Martian water. The deepest borehole on Earth, the Kola Superdeep, barely reached 7.5 miles, and that took 20 years. On Mars, where there is no infrastructure, drilling 9 miles into granite is technically impossible in the coming centuries. This ocean is like gold at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. We know it's there, but it doesn't belong to us. Mars won't this game of hide and seek. When they were drilling the Kola borehole on Earth, scientists expected to find dry granite. But at a depth of 4.3 miles, they found what was thought impossible: water. Where pressure should have prevented it, it flowed through cracks. This was the first clue. Planet interiors live by their own rules. Moreover, at Kola they found deposits of gold and methane where they weren't expected. The Martian ocean at 9 miles depth might be not just water, but a chemical broth, saturated with rare metals that cost trillions on Earth. We didn't just find water, we found Mars' resource bank, waiting for its safecracker. If conventional drills melt, how do we reach the Martian ocean? NASA and private labs are already considering projects for nuclear drills or plasma units. Instead of gnawing at the rock, we will vaporize it. A special probe with a white-hot tip could literally melt its way down under its own weight, like a hot knife through butter. We could send such a needle into the Martian ocean and receive a live stream from the depths of another world within a few months. It's not a question of if it's possible, it's a question of who will be first to develop this plasma knife. And here is the biggest sensation. On Earth, at the bottom of oceans, there are white smokers, hydrothermal vents where life thrives without sunlight, living off chemical energy. If the Martian subterranean ocean is heated by the remnants of the planet's internal heat, then we are looking at the largest incubation chamber in the solar system. This might be not just water and rock, but an entire ecosystem that evolved over billions of years in complete isolation. We were looking for life on the surface, but it just moved into the basement, and now we have the address. But there is something else that gives scientists no peace. The Curiosity rover has been recording strange methane spikes for years. On Earth, 90% of methane is produced by living organisms. On Mars, it appears out of nowhere and just as suddenly disappears. We used to think it was seasonal soil fluctuations, but now that we know about the underground ocean, the puzzle pieces fit. This methane could be the breath of the underground interior. Liquid water reacts with hot rocks, or someone is actually producing this gas there. We are only seeing the exhaust pipe of a huge chemical plant hidden at a depth of 9 miles. And here lies the main danger. NASA is preparing the Mars sample return mission to bring samples of Martian rock to Earth. But after the discovery of the ocean, debates began in the scientific community. If bacteria or viruses exist in this isolated water that evolved for billions of years separately from Earth, our immunity is absolutely not ready for them. One such sample could become a biological bomb. We are so eager to pick this lock that we forget to ask ourselves, what if whoever locked this ocean billions of years ago was trying to protect us?